Hello and welcome to today's live level up conversation. It's so wonderful to have you here. Thanks for tuning in and catching me here live. And if you're instead catching me on replay, I really appreciate you being here as well. Happy Wednesday. Let's dive right in.
Welcome to Level Up with Winnie Sun. Market update. Speed round. Award-winning financial pro. And now, get ready. I present to you Level Up with Winnie Sun.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the show. The week is moving in like warp speed. It's already Wednesday. I can't believe we're at the middle of the week already. We've got 2 more days to go. It is great to be here with you. Welcome to the show. I'm Winnie Sun, your host, an award winning financial pro, a Forbes contributor, and a CNBC council member. And it is an honor to be here with you. And we are streaming here live on many social media platforms. So jump in, take a moment to say hello, introduce yourself. It'd be great to see who is here. And of course, I want to big welcome and thank you to CrossX Fighter, who is joining us on YouTube Live. It is great, and I really appreciate you always supporting this show. Such a treat to have you with us. All right, let's tee it up and let you know how the market is doing currently. Now, unfortunately, it's so interesting. I was going to tell you it's a mixed market literally a second ago, but I'm looking at it right now, and unfortunately, it's turned all red, negative across the board currently. The Dow is currently down over 100 points at 106. Nasdaq is down 2 points, and the S&P 500, which was positive just like minutes ago, is now in negative territory, down 10 points as well. We're definitely going to circle back and update you on the market before the show ends today. But as you know, we've got a couple more hours to go before the market closes. And one of the reasons why we're seeing a negative territory today and a lot of volatility in the last weeks and months has been the discussion of inflation. And so today, numbers came out for wholesale inflation here in the United States. And unfortunately, wholesale inflation went up, surpassing expectations in September, went up about 0.5%, which for you might think, oh, that's not a huge number. But given that we're trying to reduce inflation here in the US, that's definitely not good news. In fact, the producer price index, the PPI, which measures finished goods that producers pay for, this, of course, the core PPI does exclude things like food and energy. This in itself rose by 0.3%. So this sort of increase is, of course, another indication that inflation isn't going down just yet. And this feeds into the Federal Reserve's policy decisions on whether or not to increase interest rates, make them even higher than they currently are. But the Fed Reserve has said that they're targeting a 2% annual inflation, which is a healthy inflation rate. But they don't expect that to be reached, get this, for several years. So for those of you who are thinking, well, maybe another year, maybe in 2 years, well, maybe another year, they might start decreasing the amounts of increasing interest rates, but doesn't mean that inflation is going to go down anytime soon. So the Labor Department is expected to release the Consumer Price Index in the coming days, so maybe tomorrow or Friday. But the Federal Reserve has been raising interest rates to combat inflation, but it doesn't seem like it's had that full effect that we were hoping for, at least given the numbers that we saw on the producer price index. So hopefully better news soon, but that's where we're at currently. Now, before we jump into today's tweet chat, I have some news that I want to share with you. And I think this is going to be interesting. I've been sort of on an AI track lately. And the reason that is because I just think this technology is fascinating. And I like to see sort of where the puck is headed. And I definitely think the more we can learn about what's in development, what things are changing, some of the trends, it helps us make better decisions as investors, as business people, as entrepreneurs, as employees, just as human beings in general. Well, one area that's fascinating is that Google and Amazon are now using AI in their hiring processes for their companies. In fact, only 12% of hiring professionals currently use any sort of AI technology or artificial intelligence in their recruiting and talent management processes. But they're saying that AI solutions are actively being marketed for various aspects of hiring. Now, one thing that I think many of you watching would agree, one of the things they say is this will help mitigate bias in talent recruiting. So companies like Amazon, Unilever, Microsoft, they've been partnering with the Center for Industry Self-Regulation, or the CISR, and they've published a set of principles and protocols for trustworthy AI as it pertains to hiring and recruiting. So this sort of addresses things such as transparency, non-discrimination, fairness, technical robustness, they're saying safety and other things, accountability, saying that AI hopefully can be a lot more fair in terms of hiring and as well as specific criteria for third-party AI vendor certification. So this is being used now to develop job descriptions, talent sourcing, creating and all sorts of things to screen different candidates for the positions that they're hiring for. So I'm curious to see how you feel about this. I think this is actually a good thing. I do think, as much as we like to talk about being colorblind and anti-discrimination and whatnot, it's, there's so many other nuances as human beings that sometimes we may not be able to completely take away some of our background and our preferences and whatnot. And it could impact hiring. And we've seen that case after case. We've heard about certain ways where it hasn't been that fair. So hopefully AI can change that. So they're saying that this is sort of a new trend, and this has sort of been trending on LinkedIn, LinkedIn's website today. So I thought I'd share that story with you. But to build on that, I thought I would share another story I thought was really fascinating that's been on Business News as well. There's a company called Pim Eyes. I know it's an interesting name, Pim Eyes. They have created a facial recognition tool which allows users to upload a photo of a stranger, and quickly you're able to identify the person even without their knowledge that they're being scanned. Now, this is an AI powered tool, scanning faces in a photo, and it searches the internet for photos of you. So if you have photos of you on the internet, let's just say that PinMice probably already has that. This is going to help reveal images that you might not be aware of. Now, this is not completely new software, I think, and it's not like earth shattering, because for any of you who have like Instagram or Facebook or, whatever different social media platforms, I mean, just like 2 weekends ago, a good friend of mine, she's a celebrity chef, she texted me and she says, Winnie, somebody seems like they're using your images. I just got this notification. And so I checked on Instagram. Sure enough, someone was using all my photos and create a whole new profile with their name and everything else. So I needed to submit a request to Instagram to get this taken down. But so this software is or currently available, but of course people are very concerned about this because although it claims to help people monitor their online presence, people are concerned about potential downfall uses of this technology. For example, stalking, collecting images of kids and children, adding photos of deceased individuals to its database without permission. That's just the beginning of it. So currently, there aren't any federal laws regulating facial recognition technology here in the US, but I'm pretty sure that that's going to happen. But people are really concerned about privacy violations, online harassment. In fact, PMIs now offers both a free and subscription-based service. With some users are finding, it's actually challenging to opt out of their database. So PMI's CEO obviously defends the tool, saying, no, it's great. It helps protect against scams and identification, potentially identity theft and things like that. But PMI's has currently been blocked across 27 countries, including Russia, China, Iran, and many other countries to prevent the misuse by government authorities. So I thought that was interesting. And this is another thing that I thought the article was interesting talking about too, because they said that Google actually had developed a really powerful facial recognition tool. This is a few years back. And they decided that they were hesitant about releasing them due to concerns about misuse. So many experts and activists are calling for regulation, even talking about banning facial recognition technology. Some states have already enacted laws to regulate federal I guess facial recognition. But I'm curious to see how you feel about that. How do you feel about facial recognition? I know some of us love it. Like, for example, like let's say you have your cell phone, right? And instead of having to remember all your passwords, some of the apps will allow you to use facial recognition to open your apps. So that's one way I think has been beneficial in terms of making things more convenient. But is this a, I mean, I feel like a lot of this technology with AI and facial recognition, it's not something that we can prevent at this point. I mean, Google created the technology a while ago. PimEye is now taking it free even. It's like we can't stop it. So how do we learn to work with it and make sure that it's of benefit, and we try to mitigate some of the nuances that can really be dangerous and harmful for human society? That's the question. I don't know the answer to it, but I like to ask the questions for you. And I see many of you joining me too, so thanks so much for doing that. Jump in, let me know your thoughts on that, because I do think these are things and have discussions on, and that way we can figure out ways to work with it so that we can also protect ourselves and our loved ones. All right. I got one more story. I've got actually a couple more stories for you, but this is another one that I thought was interesting. And this is one that I actually give it a thumbs up for. Now, we've talked about the pros and cons and how Walmart has treated their employees or they haven't treated their employees. And, just like Amazon, a lot of big retailers and businesses, some, have really made an impact in taking care of their employees. And some have, in other ways, they may have treated them not as well. But for the sake of business, sometimes it's kind of like it's not too hot, not too cold. You can't please everybody, but at least you can try. And in this realm, I do feel like Walmart is trying. Walmart is now going to provide employees with telehealth benefits. I thought this was great. Walmart's going to expand its virtual healthcare benefits to provide their employees and their families with easier access to quality medical providers across the United States. Now, this includes virtual primary care, digestive health, and physical therapy. In addition, and I love this, basic at home lab work in the near future. Because if I know when you go to the doctor, if you go to the doctor every year, like I try to go to the doctor every year at least to get like a physical and like the basic wellness exam, they always have you go and get your lab work. And if you've gone to one of these places to get your lab work, it can be pretty stressful. There's like usually a ton of people who made an appointment, people who didn't make an appointment, and it's like a little gnarly. And you got to go and get your blood drawn so you can do these medical exams. I love the fact that this could be an at-home lab work. How wonderful is that? In fact, I just saw a documentary on Netflix that many less developed countries have this service where people go to people's homes and draw blood and get their lab work. It's beautiful. But this virtual healthcare benefits is going to be available at no cost to Walmart associates and their families with a $0 copay. That's great, Walmart. We love that. Now, Walmart, I guess, really dived into this virtual care even before the COVID pandemic started, and they really want to accelerate the need for demand for healthcare providers and just enhance their medical benefit offering for their employees. I thought that was pretty cool. So the company's goal is to build comprehensive healthcare experience in reducing unnecessary inpatient emergency room visits, which we know is really expensive, and improve healthcare outcomes. So that I think is really interesting. So the question is, if you can go large scale with a virtual doctor visits, This is probably going to benefit the bottom line because employees will go and do this because it takes less time, it's less stressful. You can do all this at the comfort of your home. So, probably going to help a lot of more employees stay healthy, which would probably put less pressure on their health insurance, which can also probably reduce the time that medical professionals, go in and out of the office. And I think this should be something that we should embrace more of. And hopefully more companies will jump on the bandwagon so that smaller companies like mine can do so as well. All right. Last story. This is a fun one. Now, I know that's not going to impact everybody, but it'll impact probably over 115 million people because over 116 million plus subscribers as of the end of second quarter 2023 are T-Mobile US wireless subscribers. So if you are a T-Mobile US subscriber, get this. They're going to be offering a Halloween themed treat for their T-Mobile Tuesdays perk. Now, I don't have T-Mobile. My husband does, so I'm definitely going to get him to do this. But what they're going to do is they're going to be offering their signature magenta color bucket. All right. So this is a Halloween trick or treat bucket. The bucket will feature an LED light on the handle, making it ideal for kids to use while trick or treating at night. Now, they had previously given similar buckets out in 2018, but they're bringing them back. And they'll be bringing back around October 24th. And there's a lot of other Halloween specials. So I'll be sharing them with you again later this weekend as we go into this month because obviously it's Halloween season. And with that, I hope that you have a wonderful day. Let's take a look at the market. The Dow is currently down 111 points. Unfortunately, Nasdaq's now down 8, and the S&P 500 is also down 11. So still red across the board. But in one way that we can get you back in happy days is invite you to join our tweet chat. Now, our tweet chat is going to take place in about 25 minutes here. Okay. So right after this stream, if you want, go get something to drink, grab a quick snack, and join me on X, which I'm still going to call Twitter, for our tweet chat. All you need to do is follow hashtag Winnie Sun. If you go to my profile at Winnie Sun on Twitter, you're going to see the logo and the branding that we're sharing with you on the screen now. And it'll show you that we are featuring 2 live streaming legends. They're not only amazing, but they're also friends of mine. Julie Riley and Ross Brand, 2 masters in live streaming. So if you've ever wondered how we make our show work, if you've ever wondered, oh, could I do that? Or if you wonder what happens behind the scenes and what technology and how we pull this all off, well, this is going to be a fun tweet chat for you. So I want to definitely extend a heartfelt invitation to you as part of our amazing audience here. Thank you so much for being here. Do me a favor and subscribe so you can keep updated on our latest show. And of course, hit that like button as well. That helps a lot. You can also find full episodes of Level Up with Winnie Sun when you tune in on NASDAQ, Amazon Fire, Samsung, LG, Roku, and many other streaming platforms. And if you do share this show on social media, make sure to tag me at Winnie Sun so I can thank you like I need to so much so because I so appreciate CrossX Fighter on YouTube and so many others who have been sharing this show widely. Thank you so much for doing that. And of course, if you want to listen in, check out Yes Factor with Winnie Sun on Apple Podcasts and the LinkedIn Podcast Network. All right, take care. I'll see you very soon. Have a wonderful day. Hope to see you actually in 22 minutes on Twitter. And actually, if you're watching me on replay, feel free to jump in too. Do a search for hashtag Winnie Sun and you can respond, you can tweet, you can talk to each other. You can actually, if you're shy, you can just hang out in the back and just read some of the knowledge that's being shared by 2 of the biggest live streamers on social media when they share their best tips and tricks. You're definitely not going to want to miss this one because what happens is new technology happens, new skills and new things. And I actually learned so much from just learning from these 2 individuals, and they're going to be sharing very generously their time and their knowledge with us today. All right, take care, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye-bye now.